chest. My mama say, boy, you know you acting different. That shit you in just a phase, you ain't gonna never be in it. The sad thing, she don't know what the hell she talking about. She thinking life is golden, she ain't got no doubt. My mama looked in my eyes, she said, please come home. Now why the fuck would I do that if I'm already home? Shit don't make no sense, you just want me gone. If I go back to the world, I'm gonna be more than gone. My family look in my eyes, I don't know who you with. That's how it's supposed to be, that old nigga dead and gone. He'll never breathe up on this earth ever again. And my son will never ever see me spoken again. Anymore. She said, baby, I don't know who you is anymore. She said, baby, I don't know who you is anymore. I say, if I was selling drugs, I bet y'all niggas love me more. If I was killing niggas, robbing niggas, bet y'all love me more. If I was Christian, best believe the world will love me more. Ever since I joined the truth, man, my family even hate me more. I ice around my neck, I ain't go out yet one more. We hated in this place, can't even go to the store. And niggas say this they heaven, but nigga you destroy. My people don't even know what they wanna be. You a Christian or you a Buddha, yeah, it matter to me. Cause every night I lay down and I go to sleep. Another nigga of losses, I'm not cussing me. I'm out here saving lives, why you mad at me? It's because there's no sin, no God controlling me. I'll forever be one West, boots up on my feet. Bury me a priest. Anymore. She say, baby, I don't know who you is anymore. She say, baby, I don't know who you is anymore. I'm really weak now. I'm just laying on my chest and I got it off. It's how I feel. Same.
Hey, Shalom Israel. This is the Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge, start out of 1 West, 125th Street, Harlem, New York, under Commanding General Yohana. I'm Priest and Officer Tapazar. This is the ISUPK Killeen Brotherhood class. You understand? And today we coming out of Genesis 21. You understand? Cast out the bondwoman and her son. And, you know, it's real relevant right now. You understand? Shout out, you know what I'm saying, to Captain Kaposh and the whole camp out of Indianapolis, you know what I'm saying, that suffered that terrorist attack, you know what I'm saying, against our, you know what I'm saying, our holy sanctuary, you understand, where, you know, a daughter, you know what I'm saying, will really shoot. A mother of Ishmael, you understand? You know what I'm saying? A Palestinian woman thought she could take her rage out against, you know what I'm saying, God's chosen people. And all it goes to show you is that, you know what I'm saying, that spirit is in the earth right now, man. That spirit that wants to, you know what I'm saying, do violence against God's family. You understand? Do violence against the children of promise. You understand? You know what I mean? Like the scriptures say, man, you know what I'm saying? Those that are born of the flesh persecute the children of promise until this day. But, you know what I'm saying? The heavier point is how do we get to this point? How do we get here? You understand? How do we get to this point where, I mean, the 12 tribes of the nation of Israel, we have our enemies, man. You understand? We have our enemies, man. But what we have to understand is, and the problem is, of what we don't understand is that when we don't believe the Most High, man, when we don't believe His prophecy, when we don't take His words seriously, when we don't follow the men of God, you know what I'm saying, and the words of the prophets, we put ourselves in a position to be persecuted. You understand? You understand? This whole thing between, you know what I'm saying, Ishmael and Isaac, it's all rooted and based in rulership. You understand? It's all based in rulership, man. It's all about rulership because this entire battle is about who's going to rule the world. And everybody's invested in that. All the nations are invested in that. You understand? But the bottom line is that the Most High already elected who was going to rule the earth. You understand? And the only reason why we not is because we didn't believe God. You understand? We lack faith. You understand? And so it's time to cast out the bondwoman and her son. You understand? And that's not just talking, you know what I'm saying, in the natural sense, but that's also meaning that we got to stop thinking that we can build alliances with who the Lord didn't choose and feel like we can make things happen. You understand? Like that's what we do, man. You understand? We don't, to put it in plain terms, is that we you know, we have a Christian mindset. We Christian. You know what I'm saying? A lot of our people, we think that going through something means that God isn't with you. You understand? That it means that God is against you because you're going through something, when really the scriptures say that, you know what I'm saying, that if you come to serve the Lord, prepare yourself for temptation. You understand? And don't be impatient, you know what I'm saying, in difficult times. You understand? But to wait on the Lord. Because the scriptures say, whoever, I'm paraphrasing, whoever waited on the Lord and was disappointed, you know what I'm saying, or the Lord abandoned them. You understand? But what we do is that we want to take the fast route. You understand? Or we see who appears to be in power at, at the time currently, and we want to latch ourselves onto them, latch ourselves onto these other nations to try to get a leg up, or try to get a break from hell. But nah, man, you understand? The hell that we in is the hell that the Most High put us in, because we didn't respect what his words in the first place. We didn't fear him in the first place. You understand? So it's time for us to make that adjustment, man, because really it's World War III. And, and if you don't know who your enemy is in World War III, if you don't know where the war is at in World War III and what you warring for, you know what I'm saying? Like, paraphrasing like Paul said, you just out here swinging aimlessly. You know what I'm saying? You don't even have a target. You just swinging at anything. You know what I'm saying? And man, this ain't the time. This ain't the time to not be focused. This ain't the time to not know what you hitting the gym for, what you putting all your energy into for. This ain't the time for that. You understand? We really in the last rounds. We in the last bout. This is it. So everything, listen, all the prophecies, all the exhortation, all the wisdom that the prophets of the Most High and the ISUPK are putting out, you know what I'm saying? I mean, it's been meat and milk since 1969, and now we here. Now we at the end. We at the end of all things. It's at hand. You understand? And instead of some of us being sober, you know what I'm saying, we still battling things that we should have been overcame, years ago. But nevertheless, you know what I'm saying, our duty is to teach. You understand? And you know what I'm saying, and those who hear are gonna hear, and you know what I'm saying, like the scriptures say. Let he who is righteous be righteous still, and let he who is be filthy still. You understand? But we gotta listen. If what's going on right now in the earth don't got you sitting on edge, and your the hairs on your arm on standing up at what's taking place, all the prophecy taking place. I mean, listen, man. A Palestinian woman in the UK, you know what I'm saying, starts the melee and the tumult against our brothers in ISUPK, you know what I'm saying, UK. And a mob, you know what I'm saying, tries to assault and violate, you know what I'm saying, our right and freedom, you know what I'm saying, to speak God's word. And then here in the United States, another Palestinian woman takes it upon herself to drive her car onto the side, you know what I'm saying, of the ISUPK of our facilities, man. You know, listen, man. The bondwoman and her son hate the children of the promise, man. You understand? And they represent all these nations, man. All these nations. You know what I'm saying? We're hated because we are who God has chosen. You understand? But the problem is that we haven't chosen the Most High. All right? So, man, let's get into it, man. You understand? Like, you know, we got to ask ourselves, how did we get here? And we got here by not trusting the Most High, man. Let's go to Genesis 15, man. You understand? We got to trust the Most High, and we got to trust his prophets, man. We got to trust the men of God, the men of the Lord. All right? Okay? This is summed up very simply. You understand? When the Lord says something, that's how it's gonna go. And he don't need no help. You understand? But, you know, instead of us understanding that the voice of God is not in our heads, but the voice of God is in the mouth of his prophets, you know what I'm saying? We allow other things to guide us, man. And we see that, man, with Abraham and his rib, Sarah. You understand? So let's get into it, man. This is the book of Genesis chapter 15. Right? After these things, the word of the Lord came unto Abram in a vision, saying, Fear not, Abram, I am thy shield and thy exceedingly great reward. And Abraham said, Lord God, what wilt thou give me, seeing I go childless, and the steward of my house is Eleazar of Damascus? Right? And Abraham said, Behold, to me thou hast given no seed, and lo, one born in my house is mine heir. So what's he saying? One born in my house. He's saying the person who I'm about to give everything that I have to is my servant or my slave. You understand? What does bondman mean? Bondwoman mean? What does that mean? Let's go ahead and get it up out the Bible dictionary, man. Okay? Let's get it up out of there, man. I'm saying historically, what it meant was that you was a slave. You understand? And see, that's the problem, man. Like, not listening to God, you understand, not following God's prophecies, man, has made the rulers slaves and the slaves rulers. Right? So let's get into this real quick. Let's see here. Okay. And actually, let's pull it up on here as well. All right. Bondman. Let's get this. One second, y'all. It's just me and the Allahim up in here right now. You understand? So y'all bear with y'all brother, man. Okay. Okay, this is the Collins Dictionary. Okay. Let me share this with y'all. Okay, this is the Collins Dictionary. It says a bondman, all right, is a feudal serf or a man or boy bondservant. A male slave. So a bondman or a bondwoman would be a male slave or a female slave. A man bound to service without wages. Okay? Now, I read in an earlier definition where it said that a bondman and a bondwoman was one who had no freedom of action without the consent of their master. Okay? Now, we got to think about this, man. The Lord tells Abraham that he's going to give him a son because Abraham is feeling like his everything that he has is going to go to a slave born in his house. That's why he said, one born in my house. He's not talking about his own children. He's talking about one of his servants, one of his slaves. And think about that. You're a free man. You have slaves working for you, and then everything you earn, you have to give it to somebody that they don't even belong to themselves. They belong to you. You understand? So Abraham felt a way about that. All right, we're going to keep reading. And behold, the word of the Lord came unto him, saying, this shall not be thine heir, but he that shall come forth out of thine own bowels shall be thine heir. Now at this time, Abraham only had one rib. That was Sarah. You understand? That's it. It was Sarah. So clearly, him saying that he's going to have an heir out of his own bowels, the only rib that he got is Sarah. And see, what happens is, man, is like I said, Christianity got our people thinking, especially our women, that they can tweak God's orders or add on to what the Most High say. You understand? They feel like the Most High is in their imagination, in their head. You understand? But when the Lord says something, it's going to go exactly how he said. So just like how Adam told Eve what the Lord said, you understand? Abraham told Sarai what the Lord said, okay? But at this time, Sarai is around, like, I believe she's around 90 years old, and she's childless. She's barren. You understand? She done went through menopause 10 to 20 times, and she's what they call dried up. You know what I'm saying? It's not a pool no more. It's a desert, okay? And so in her mind, it's a done deal. All right. Let's keep reading. We're gonna go to Genesis. Let me see. That was 1 through. Actually, let me keep reading. And he brought him forth abroad and said, look now. This is the Most High talking to Abraham. Verse 5. And he brought him forth abroad and said, look now toward heaven and tell the stars if thou be able to number them. And he said unto him, so shall thy seed be. So Abraham is I believe he's around 99 years old, and the Lord's telling him, look at the sky, look at the stars. That's how your children and your seeds are going to be. You understand? And he believed in the Lord, and he counted it to him for righteousness. So when the Most High told Abraham this, Abraham believed the Most High. He's like, all right, you say it, that's what it is. Okay? And a lot of times, man, you know what I'm saying? Like, sisters, I'm going to tell you something. Like General Muhammad said, the man you laying next to, the man that you with, he's not a regular man. He's a priest and prophet of the Most High God. You understand? And he carried the word of the Most High. And the script, and I'm paraphrasing, but the scriptures say that the Most High is going to confirm the word of his servant. You understand? So what he say is what it's going to be. And the problem is that a lot of times, man, we only want to believe things when we see it. You know what I'm saying? We only want to believe things when we see it. You understand? And it's unfortunate that, since 1969, the ISUPK has been saying it's going to be World War III. It's been many prophecies that have been coming out of the ISUPK since 1969, and everybody mocked and laughed. You understand? The scriptures say that they mocked the prophets until there was no remedy. We're reaching that point. It's going to be a lot of people that call us Power Rangers and why don't you go get jobs, and you know what I'm saying, and we got bills to pay in the house, and you know what I'm saying, your husband, your Lord is going to do the work of the Lord, and you making him feel guilty and feel bad like he wasting his time. But all that prophesying on them corners, all that fishing and trying to reach and gain our people and teach our people who they are according to the Bible, what their culture is, who their power is, you know what I'm saying? You know, what our true lineage and identity is, who our family is, you know what I'm saying? This was all spoken by the Most High. Everything that the ISUPK does under Commander General Yohana is written in this book. It's written in our records. You understand? This is not just, you know, brothers just picking up and doing something, you know, because, I mean, a lot of times, man, some people believe that we just use this Bible, like, to gain, you know, manipulate or gain control of people and whatnot, man. When, listen, man, everything in this Bible is how we live our lives. You understand? And the proof is in all of the changed brothers and sisters that are in this school. That prior coming to this school, they were living this way, and now you can't even recognize them no more. You understand? That's why I played my brother's song, man. You know what I'm saying? 4PK Saint anymore. You know what I mean? The brother was singing the chorus. His mother said, I don't know who you is anymore. I don't recognize you no more. That's a beautiful thing. If your family's looking at you and they're like, we don't know who you are anymore, then you've allowed the truth to change you. You've allowed the truth to change your life. If people still look at you and they still see whatever your name was in the world, and they still see that same person, they feel comfortable, you know what I mean, calling you what you was, then maybe you still got some work to do. Maybe it's, you know, it's some stuff inside the cup that still got to get cleaned out. You understand? Because it's not just about, you know, throwing on the culture, which is, the culture is important. That's also the spirit. You understand? But the most important thing is allowing, you know what I mean, this truth that's been given to us, this great gift given to us, you know what I'm saying, this little sanctuary that we have in this hell, to allow it to change us, man, to change our thinking, to change our ways, man, to clean us up. You understand? But a lot of times, man, we, you know, when we're about to read about it, man, you know, the Lord been saying the same thing. He don't change the story. He stick to the script. You know what I'm saying? He gonna keep saying the same thing that he said. He don't change his mind. You know what I'm saying? Paraphrasing, you know, I the Lord, I don't, you know, I repent if not. I'm not finna change what I said. If I said it and I swore it, won't I do it? Paraphrasing. You understand? He's not like a man. Sometimes, you know, men switch up. Men, a man will say something one day and then, you know, next day he on something different. Like Karab say, playing the 50. You understand? That's not the Most High, man. You know what I'm saying? He can't go against what he say. Everything, listen, everything the Most High speak upholds this entire reality, man, that we exist in. Is off of his words, man. So he can't go against himself because he is the reality. You understand? But we think because we going through some stuff, you know what I mean, we dealing with pain, that's an excuse to, you know, come up with our own thing. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, to tweak the order. It's not. That's just the Lord trying you. He trying to see, you know what I mean, can you stand the rain? You know what I mean? Can you stand the fire? Can you endure? But what ends up happening is, man, when we get under this pressure, you know what I mean, whatever the pressure is, whatever our weaknesses is, you know what I'm saying? The scripture said that the Lord is a man of war. You know what I'm saying? Why? Why is he a man of war? Because he's going to go to war against anybody that's trying to harm his family. He's going to go to war with anything that's trying to go against what he established and set up. But the Christian church will have you believing that God is all love, that he's just one-sided. You know what I'm saying? That's not the Bible. You understand? Is God love? Yes. God is all love if you are righteous. You know what I'm saying? Is God a man of war? Hell yeah, he's a man of war. He's a man of war against these nations trying to harm his family and persecute and do harm to his family. He's gonna go to war with them. Go to war with them. We saw that with Moses and our, you know what I'm saying, and our forefathers, man. He went to war against Pharaoh and the Egyptians. You understand? But God ain't just one thing, man. You understand? God is a jealous God. If you worship another gods, then God is jealous. You know You know what I'm saying? You gonna see whatever side of him based on how you moving. That's how you gonna know the Most High. Because he said, paraphrasing, with the forward, I show myself forward. With the merciful, I show myself merciful. So however the Lord is dealing with you, 10 times out of 10, is based on how you moving. So whatever you encountering, if you encountering, you know what I'm saying, some ill situations, be patient. Lord will be patient with you. You understand? You want the Most High to show you mercy, then you be merciful. You show mercy. You show kindness. You understand? But God is not what the Christian church put in our heads, man. You know what I'm saying? God is all love. That's why when we out there in them corners, people got such a problem with what we say. Because the Christian church has built up in their head that God is only one way. And God is not one way. You understand? His ways are going to be based on your ways. You know what I'm saying? And actually, Salakia, I don't want to say his ways is based on your ways. The way he going to deal with you is how you deal with what he said. All right? Let's move on. Okay. So now, like I said, man, same way that the Most High, you know what I mean? Because see, Adam and his rib, they was the first couple in the truth. You understand? The Lord gave the truth to Adam. Then he chose a rib for Adam to be his rib in the truth. You understand? And ultimately what happened is that, and we ain't got to go there right now, but you know what I'm saying? Eve, she fell out the truth. She left the truth. Why? Because she thought she was smarter than her husband. And sisters, I'm going to tell you right now, you know what I'm saying? Like, let me put it in practical terms. Because see, a lot of times we think that it's you don't get deceived by this whole what's going on in the earth right now, because it's a lot of deception. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's a lot of deception flooding the earth. You understand? Flooding the airwaves. You know what I'm saying? That's why they call him the prince of the power of the air. He put a lot into the atmosphere, right? It's this whole thing like it's this illusion of a gender war, a gender battle. It's not, man. All it is that the people who should be in rulership are not being an example to the rest of the earth. You understand? That's why the Most High said, he said, my name is blasphemed amongst the heathens. Because the people who he elected and chose to be in rulership, we doing the most in front of the heathens. You understand? And we prop the and we prop the heathens up. We prop them up because we don't believe God. We don't believe God. You understand? We don't believe what God say. We only believe God when we can see it. It's like Christ's disciple, man, Thomas. You know what I'm saying? When Christ came back, you know what I'm saying? When he was resurrected, and they was telling Thomas like, yo, man, Christ is resurrected. Thomas was like, man, I ain't gonna believe it. I ain't believing nada titi nata. You know what I mean? Nada titi tata. I'm not believing nothing until I touch him with my own hands. I'm not gonna believe it. And of course, Christ pulled up. He pulled up on him. You know what I'm saying? And he told him, he said, hey, man, touch me. He was like, man, touch my side where he got stabbed at. You know what I'm saying? By the Edomite, by the Roman. And he said, feel my hands, like where they pierced my hands at. And he said, and be thou not unbelieving. He said, Thomas, you have seen and believed, but blessed are those, you know what I'm saying, that believe and have not seen. That's us in this generation, the ISUPK. Ain't none of y'all seen Yahweh Shai. Ain't none of y'all seen now prophet, now apostle, now disciple. All we got is the records. All we got is these records, man. And the whole world is UPK versus everybody in the whole earth. All these heathens and nations standing against us, man. So we're who Christ was talking about. But we can't be halfway with it. You understand? A lot of Christianity, to be Christian means you picking and choosing. You pick what you want to do, and then you say, well, I'll hold on to this, but that part I don't want to do. You understand? You got sisters who actually think that you could go against your husband, and I'm not talking, if the first thing in your mind is, well, what if he ain't living righteous? You sound like you sound like somebody in the world. We talking about here in the home of the truth. You understand? Okay, let's go ahead and finish that thought. Well, what if he ain't living righteous and I go against him? Well, I'm gonna ask y'all the question then. What are we supposed to do if somebody's not doing what's right? And they're in the school. We ain't talking about in the world. In the school, what are we supposed to do? We confront that person, right? We confront that person to he alone or to she and she alone. And we had that conversation, right? And if they hear us, we didn't gain the brother or gain the sister. But if not, we take it to counsel. So there's no reason for a brother or sister to be talking about, well, what if a person ain't doing what's right? We have protocols and a recourse of action for those things, right? To let everything take its course, to let the Lord's justice take its course. You understand? But we don't want justice. We want to be justified. What do I mean by that? We want our feelings justified. Well, I don't want to go ahead and say nothing because if I say this, then they're gonna do this and do that, and I already know how it's gonna turn out. You know what I'm saying? You got brothers and sisters who feel like I don't want to take it to counsel because I already know it ain't gonna go my way. What type of statement is that? It ain't gonna go your way. Oh, okay. I understand. I thought we wanted it to go the Lord's way. I thought we wanted the Lord to be justified, right? That he might be clear when he judge. You see what I'm saying? A lot of the things that come out of our mouths and a lot of things that we repeat, it's not out of our records. It's out of what we hear. You know what I'm saying? And popular culture. You know what I'm saying? This whole gender battle, gender war. There is no gender battle or gender war. All it is that the Lord's elected are not in order. They're not operating in decency and in order. And we picking and choosing when we want to do it because we trying to gain the advantage. It's like you trying to win the court case for you because all you can think about is you. You understand? And what we should be doing is seeing, are we in the faith? Are we aligning ourselves with what the Lord said? Not based on our feelings, but based on what God said. Because I'm going to tell you something. You not taking what the Lord says seriously is why we got a Palestinian woman driving her car into our facilities. Why we got a Palestinian woman out in front of our brothers teaching the scriptures and kicking the signs and disregarding us like we not nothing. Because a sister, you know what I'm saying, who had to come into the truth, didn't believe what God said, didn't believe the prophet of God. And who was the prophet of God to Sarai? Abraham. The Lord told Abraham. Abraham said what the Lord said. He's a prophet. Okay, well, let's see. Genesis 16, verse 1. The Lord told Abraham, you're going to have a seed out of your bowels. His only rib is Sarai. Okay, well, let's see. Now, Sarai, Abraham's wife, bare him no children, and she had a handmaid, an Egyptian, whose name was Hagar. So Sarai had a handmaid. She had a slave. She had someone that was there to serve her for the rest of her life. You could listen, if you was a bondman or a bondwoman, you couldn't change your status. There wasn't no, I'm about to work my way up out of this. I'm about to come up. You understand? I'm about to make my come up and flip the script, get the bag. It's nothing that a slave or a bondman or a bondwoman could do to get out of that condition. I go to it, but it's in Leviticus, man. It said that we were supposed to take the heathen for bondmen and bondwomen and an inheritance to our children. All right, Psalms 2, the Most High tells Christ that I've given you the heathen for your inheritance. What's an inheritance? That's like if your grandparents leave you a house, or your parents, you know what I'm saying, they put it in their will to leave you their car or to leave you some heirlooms, or you know what I'm saying, or they got a trust fund set up with some money in it. Well, I know probably black folks ain't got no trust fund, but you know what I'm saying. Whatever had any meaning or importance, right? They put it in a will, and that will be your inheritance. That means it gets passed down. That was these other nations. So this is who Hagar was to Sarai. That was her slave. Let's read. And Sarai said unto Abram, behold, now the Lord hath restrained me from bearing. That's true. The Lord did not allow you to have children. Okay, so the Lord puts you in a situation. What that mean? That means it's up to you to come up with a way out? It's up to you to come up with the solution? Let's read. I pray thee, go into my maid. It may be that I may obtain children by her. Now, how are you going to, what is this? So this is the first concept of being a surrogate, that I may obtain children by her? Okay. I guess, Sarai, our sisters got some bright ideas, it seemed like, right? Okay. And Abraham hearkened to the voice of Sarah. Now, brothers, don't that sound familiar? And Abraham hearkened to the voice of Sarah. Where did we hear that before? Right? When Eve left the truth and she hearkened to the voice of a stranger. The scriptures say, man, Christ said, Yahushua said that my sheep know my voice, and the voice of a stranger, they're not going to follow it. But Eve hearkened to the voice of a stranger, of someone of another nation, and took on their culture and then brought it back to her husband. And what? And Adam, being weak, he hearkened unto the voice of his wife. That's what the Most High said. He said, because you hearkened unto the voice of your wife, as opposed to who? Instead of listening to the voice of the Most High God. Brothers, you gotta stand 10 toes down, man. Be strong, man. If the Lord said do A, you do A. It don't matter if your wife come with B, C, D, E, F, and G. It come with a host of what she want to call logic and reasons for doing B, C, D, E, F, and G. You stay with A. You understand? And whatever hell may come. You know what I mean? You can lose a rib. You ain't got to lose your spine. All right? It's not that deep. You know what I'm saying? Like, we're not important. Let me say this the right way. We're not important to the Lord in that way. What I mean is, like, what she say, Beyonce, you're not irreplaceable. Like, the Lord, it ain't nothing for the Lord to replace somebody. It ain't nothing. If you're not going to be on his program, you can get moved out the way. It's not that deep. Living in this society, our oppressive society, is put it inside of our sisters and our brothers that we're important somehow. We don't have no importance outside of doing what the Most High said. Christ even told his men, when you've completed everything that the Lord has said to do, well, this is what you should say. We're nothing but unprofitable servants. We only did what we was commanded. That's the mindset we're supposed to have. Okay, yeah, you go to the school, you clean up, you make meals, you do clothes drives and all this kind of stuff. That's good. Those are good things. But don't ever get it inside yourself that, I didn't did this and I didn't did that. You had that spirit on you, and you only did what you're supposed to do. You know what I'm saying? You don't get a gold star in a hip hip hooray because you're doing what the Lord said to do. You don't eat pork. Okay, you ain't supposed to eat pork. Pork ain't food. Oh, I'm a good sister. I'm a virtuous sister. I don't sleep around. You're not supposed to. You ain't supposed to. You understand? But you know what else you ain't supposed to do? Usurp authority over a man. You understand? We want to put stuff on a scale. I don't sleep around. I ain't step out on them. I ain't lay with no other man. You still in sin. You still in sin because you're not following the orders. You playing a role as if everybody can't see it. And if everybody can't see it, they will see it unless you repent and change your ways. You understand? Let me tell you something, man. When when you not listening to the prophets of God, to the men of God, right? What it does is when you don't follow the words of the Most High, 100%, it drives you away from God. And by that I mean it drives you away from your man, or it'll drive you away from your camp leader or from your school. When you don't take it all in, you can't listen. This ain't the Christian church where you can play the role like I'm gonna do this, but I ain't gonna do that, and I just leave it up to the Lord and let Him decide. No, you've already decided, and He's decided too, because you can't play 50 with the Most High, man. You can't. Okay, it's all or nothing. And then when you play the 50 with the Most High, you gonna pay for it. It just make what you got to go through. You gonna go through it even longer, and then you gonna make your kids suffer as a result. All right, let's move on. And he hearkened unto the voice of Sarai, like Adam hearkened unto the voice of Eve. You understand? We're not finna let nobody, whether you a sister or a brother, you can't let nobody take you out the truth. And sisters, I'm not saying that as if you got some type of leverage over your man. I'm saying that whatever the Lord said to do, that's what you need to do. Okay? We don't take what the Most High say and try to use it to rise up against somebody. You understand? That's an authority over us. Even if you have the scriptures say that, when you're dealing with an elder or a man above you, you wouldn't treat him as a father. You know what I'm saying? David didn't take the what he saw Saul doing and use that as an opportunity to raise a railing accusation against the man above him, right? So, sisters, why do you feel like because you see your man in being or what you may think is something that's in error? I'm not gonna say if it is or not because that has to get judged by the men of the Lord. They'll determine what the issue is. But you'll take what you see as a weakness in your Lord, and you use it to try to to rise up against them. That's not virtuous. That's not spiritual. That's carnal. You understand? And all you're doing is you're driving yourself away from God. Because I'm gonna be honest with you. If you have a husband and he's serving the Lord, listen, of course, your relationship with the Most High is through your husband because he represents the Most High to you. You listen, man, unless your husband is an outright, he just out there in the world. Like even if he is in the world, he still got rule over you. It don't change anything. You understand? So, but especially if he's in the truth, you really playing a dangerous game. Okay, you playing a dangerous game, and but let's continue. Salakia. And Sarah, Abraham's wife, took Hagar, her maid, the Egyptian, and Abraham had dwelt 10 years in the land of Canaan, and gave her to her husband Abram to be his wife. Gave a heathen to her Lord to be his wife, and she thought that this was going to turn out well. Gave us a slave to her husband. What do you think that? Listen, what if a slave got any sense? You know what I'm saying? Well, I ain't gonna say any sense, Salakia. What do you think a slave is thinking about, especially a slave woman? What is she thinking about? I didn't serve this woman, brought her clothes. I gotta wash her dresses, her garments. I gotta go follow her orders, and then she say go. And the whole time she's serving Sarai, who do you think she watching? Abraham. He the head nigga in charge, the HNIC. You think Hagar was looking like Abraham, like, just like whatever? She like, dang, man, Abraham. Whole time in her head, she like, man, I wish he was mine. Right? And then you go and hand her over to him. Sarai, how you thought it was going to turn out? What you thought was going to happen? Whole time she been your slave, moving at your bidding, and let's see what take place. I mean, the fact that Abraham brought her into the bed, her head already starting to go. What do you think Hagar was thinking about? Hagar was a bondwoman, a slave. Her position could never change. She could never get out of being Sarai's slave. And now she have sex with Abraham. What you think she thinking about? Damn, I done came up. My position has changed. Now I'm a wife. I'm not a slave. I'm a wife. I mean, he lay with me. And he went in unto Hagar, verse 4, and she conceived. And when she saw that she had conceived, her mistress was despised in her eyes. She like, dang, I mean, what, you supposed to be who the Lord chose, and I got pregnant. So clearly the Lord ain't with you. You put a heathen in a position to question whether or not, or to question your birthright. And that's what we've done. By sinning against the Most High and not believing the words of the Most High, we put the heathen in a position to feel like they God's chosen. And that spirit that was on Hagar, ain't it on her children? Ain't it on her children? With Islam and all that? What do Muslims try to say? How do they try to validate that toilet paper called the Quran? Huh? What do they say? Oh, the Israelites broke the covenant. God was with them, but they broke the covenant. So he found somebody else. He found another one of Abraham's sons. Right? And the Quran is the untampered book because y'all broke the covenant, so y'all can't be, you couldn't be trusted no more. Now God has chosen the Muslims, Islam. And isn't that their logic? Why? Because we didn't even believe what God said. So us not believing what God said put them in a position to question us, who God chose. You understand? Let's read. And look, man, and just like a sister, let's see how Sarah responds to the results of her poor decision making. Right? And Sarai said unto Abram, my wrong be upon thee. Good night. Good night. My wrong be upon thee. I have given my maid into thy bosom, and when she saw that she had conceived, I was despised in her eyes. The Lord judged between me and thee. Man, what a statement. You know what I'm saying? Brothers, you got to realize, man, that's why you got to stand your ground with your, you know what I'm saying, with your rib, man, because, you know, I'm not saying don't listen to your rib. If she's one West and she's 10 toes down and she's in alignment and she got a, you know, like she has a proper suggestion and she's in the right spirit, then of course you're going to take heed. But, you know, don't listen. Don't be afraid to say no, because if you say yes and she end up being in error, it's still going to be on you. You're going to get blamed anyway. She asked for it. She wanted to do it. You said okay. And then, you know, months down the line, she mad at you. Just like a sister. You know what I'm saying? Asking the Lord to judge between me and you. Good night. Okay? So now let's go to Genesis 17, man, because see, this is the issue, is that Eve left the truth, and by her leaving the truth and falling out the truth, it had an impact on her children. You understand? Now, Sarai, when the Lord comes and visits Abraham, and he tells Abraham, hey man, you're gonna have a son this time next year. And Sarai's in the kitchen, she's cooking up some food, and she laughed about it. She laughed at it, man. She thought she took it for a joke, you know what I mean? And then when she come out, the angel asked her, like, yo, why you laugh when I said that? She's like, I ain't laugh. He's like, nah, but you did laugh. Is anything too hard for the Lord? And you got to be careful, man, because she ends up having Isaac, right? And Isaac's name is Yatazak. You understand? It's Yatazak in the Hebrew. And it means laughter or to laugh. You understand? Now, she thought it was funny. But then when the Lord go ahead and fulfill what he say, it's not funny to her no more. It's like, man, I can't believe it went down like that. Like, she laughing like, man, like in happiness. You know what I mean? Like, she even said it, the Lord has caused me to laugh. And that's why she named him Isaac, Yatazak, right? But the thing is, man, is that when you when you don't got faith, because that's what Sarah lacked. Sarah lacked faith. And that's why her name had to get changed. That's why she had to get a name changed. Her and Abram. From Abram to Abraham, and from Sarai to Sarah, princess. She had to get a name change because she was in the world, man. And when you in the world, when you lack strength, you try to make alliances with your enemies. And that's what she did. She made an alliance with who was supposed to be a slave. Let's read real quick Ecclesiastes chapter 10, verse 7. Let me show y'all this, man. All right. Because what's happened is that the princes and princesses have taken on the roles of slaves, and the slaves have taken on the roles of rulers. Why? Because we try to make alliances with them instead of sticking to what the Lord said. All right. This is the book of Ecclesiastes, chapter 10, verse 7. I have seen servants upon horses and princes walking as servants on the earth. What does that mean? When it says I've seen servants on horses, it's a servant on that horse. He's in the position of a ruler, but he's a servant. And why is it saying like that? Because the Lord dubbed him a servant. All these other nations outside of so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians, they are all servants to the children of Israel. Every last one of them. The so-called African, the so-called Caucasian, the so-called Asian, the Chinese man, Japanese man. You understand? The so-called East Indian, right? The so-called Polynesian or Pacific Islander. All of them are servants to blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians. They all are. But how do we view them right now in our communities, man? They rule over us. They rule over us because why? We don't want to follow what God says, man. We don't want to do what God says. We want to give a heathen to our husband to lay with. A lot of you sisters, y'all didn't, back in the day, brothers who was trying to divest or, swirl or, choose women of other nations, they call them exotic. Oh, these women are exotic. That's what they say. Now you got sisters who are participating in bringing women home to their men outside of their nation. It's disgusting. You know what I'm saying? It's bestiality, man. You got women doing threesomes, bringing a woman of another nation and giving to her husband. Then you got the brothers talking about, I prefer this nation to my woman because she's more submissive. When now the scriptures talk about if you be the daughters of Sarah, right, who called Abraham Lord. What is that? That's in 1 Peter. Paraphrasing, what does that mean? What it means is that the characteristic of being submissive, feminine, friendly, right, ready to serve, ready to work, ready to bring glory to her husband, that characteristic was in our women. You understand? And now you've given that reputation to heathens. I've seen servants on horses and princes walking as servants on the earth. That go for the sisters too. Because the scripture said that our women, their feet weren't even supposed to light the ground, to touch the ground. And y'all walking so much, you got bunions and onions on your feet now. Corns, bunions, and onions. You know what I'm saying? It's a whole cornucopia. It's a whole, it's a basket of vegetables on your feet. You walking so much. You understand? And that's because you've propped up the heathens. Let me show you what I'm talking about real quick. Let me show you what I'm talking about. All right. This is a picture. And this is the only thing I'm sharing today because this class is going to be short. All right. 1 second. Let me show y'all this, man. Propped up the heathens, man. I want to see if y'all remember this picture. I don't know if I could, good, nice. Too much of this advertisement around. Okay, there we go. Let me get this out the way. Y'all see this, man? I can't really expand it. Y'all see this? This is Khloe Kardashian. Okay, let me go ahead and put this, this is Khloe Kardashian. Okay. And that's what you got there is Megan Good, and it's a set of twins there and another sister, okay? And this is a Halloween pic, all right? And right there you see Khloe is the pimp. Now, Khloe is Armenian, you know what I'm saying? She's a heathen, Caucasian, and she's a pimp, and she has, what's in her hand, y'all? Y'all see what's in her hand? It's dog leashes and chains. And what's on all their necks? Collars. You know, in Rome, they would put collars on the necks of their bondmen and bondwomen, slaves. All these women are Israelite women. You understand? These are daughters of Sarah. You understand? But they've propped up a heathen and put a heathen woman in the position to rule over them and make them what? Make them the dogs. So you got a dog walking princesses, man. Now, are they princesses? No. They on here dressed like prostitutes. But I'm saying what they are according to what their family is, to what their lineage is, man. You understand? And this is basically what Sarah did. When she put Hagar in the position to lay with her husband, she put a heathen woman in a position to even attempt to try to dog walk her. You understand? When they are the dogs, man. You not following what God says, you not having faith in what the Most High says, man, that puts you in a position to have the heathen, you know what I'm saying, dog walk you. That's why Christ said, man, you're the salt of the earth. If the salt has lost its flavor, if you stop living according to your culture, if you start taking our records and what the Lord put down and laid down for us, you start taking it light, then what are you good for? What did Yahushua say that the salt that's lost its flavor is good for? They used to throw that salt down on the roads, man. And it's like I don't want to call it asphalt, but you know what I mean? They would lay down on dirt roads, salt that you couldn't use anymore for food because salt is a natural preservative. You know what I'm saying? We didn't have fridges, ice fridges back then. So you would store meats in salt. It would preserve the meat so maggots and stuff wouldn't get into it. So Christ was comparing us to salt because we are who the Lord chose to preserve his words, to preserve his culture in the earth, man. To be handed down from generation to generation to our children's children. But if we give it, if we toss what he gave us away and we lose the flavor, when you stop living according to the Most High's words, you lose your flavor. We watch, the Olympics, and we say, "Oh, we know we the salt of the earth." We watch our musicians do amazing things with instruments and with music. We say, "Wow, the salt of the earth." We watch our, sports figures and basketball players, football players, and we say, "Oh, wow, the salt of the earth." Or you might hop on TikTok or a YouTube reel and see our youth doing amazing things. We're like, man, salt of the earth. Or achieving things in education and in college. A 14-year-old graduates college at 14 or graduates high school at 11. We're like, man, the salt of the earth. Yeah, that's cool. But none of that stuff matters if we're not keeping the culture that the Most High gave us, man. All we're good for is to get walked on, stepped on. Ain't that crazy? What the hell is that? That's how the heathens step on us, man. That's what that is. You understand? We getting stepped on. Why? Because we casting away the very thing that will put us on top, man, and keep us on top. You understand? You know what I'm saying? So, moving on, man. So, Sarai had to come into the truth. Abram had to come into the truth. And what does that mean? It means believing what God said, man, and living your life according to that, changing your life according to that. And this ain't the bash Sarah, because why? She got her name changed, and she finally came to her senses. Because when she saw Ishmael, let me get to that. You know what I'm saying? When she saw Ishmael, you know what I'm saying? Well, actually, let's read it. I don't want to get ahead of it. Let's read it. We're in Genesis 21. All right. The Lord visited Sarah, and as he said, the Lord did unto Sarah as he had spoken. For Sarah conceived and bare Abraham a son in his old age, at the set time of which God had spoken to him. And Abraham called the name of his son that was born unto him, whom Sarah bare, called him Isaac. Laughter. You know what I mean? Laughter. Because, you know, it's that phrase. He who laughs last, laughs the hardest. This is really, that phrase really come from Yatazak. It come from Isaac. Because why? Esau is the end of the world, right? We done been through all this hell, man, since the garden, through all these captivities. And at the end of this, all these political governments that all these nations have ruled over us have stepped on us. Now we down at the feet. Now we down at the toes. You understand? And it's breaking up. You understand? That's why it talks about how that in Daniel's vision it was a stone that was cut without hands. You understand? That knocked down that statue that Nimrod saw, that vision that he saw, that the Lord gave him, that Daniel interpreted. You understand? Showing all the captivities and the governments of the heathens that ruled over us. They've all had their time. Now whose time is it? It's the time of Jacob, man. It's Jacob's time. You understand? The end of the world is Esau. And Jacob is the beginning of that which follows. So we didn't went through all this hell. We didn't went through all these atrocities, but we're going to have the last laugh, man. Yatazak is going to have his last laugh. Good night. Moving on. All right. Salakia. So he named him Isaac, which literally means laughter, right? Or in other, it also means firm. Okay. Verse 4. And Abraham circumcised his son Isaac, being 8 days old, as God had commanded him. And Abraham was 100 years old when his son Isaac was born unto him. And Sarah said, God hath made me to laugh, so that all that hear will laugh with me. But see, let me tell you something, man. And this is to brothers, you know what I mean, who out there, they see us in the streets and they laugh. Oh, you Power Rangers, you mock us and all that. No sweat. You know what I mean? No sweat. Sisters, a lot of you laugh at your husbands. You know what I mean? You take your husband for light. You know what I'm saying? He say something to you and you like, yeah, okay, whatever. You know what I'm saying? You taking him for light, you mocking him, you laughing. Right? Let me tell you something, man. When you laughing at the men of the Lord gonna end up laughing at you. You understand? He gonna laugh when your calamity come. And calamity is on the way. The third woe cometh quickly. You understand? Calamity and destruction is coming. And you don't want the Lord laughing at you, laughing your way. Because when you laugh at the men of the Lord, the prophets of the Most High God, trust me, he going to be laughing at you, and then your enemies are going to be laughing at you. When you don't take what the Most High God says seriously, he can't take you seriously. See, you in your selfish world of lust, every little bump or discomfort is the end of the world. It's the big deal. When it's a whole nation that the Lord is trying to rise up out of the dust, and the men of the Lord are working under the Most High to do that work, to raise up a nation out of the dust, to work to build up blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians to get back to that position that the Lord would have us at, man. And it's not nothing to be taken lightly. You understand? So when your man tell you something, you think because you pick up his dirty drawers off the floor, or I gotta pick up after him. Why don't he wash his own dishes? Why don't he cook his own meals? Cook his own dinner? Why I gotta be doing all the cooking? Okay, that's cool. That's cool. Because like Doubting Thomas, that's what they call him, right? Some of y'all not gonna believe until the crown get put on their head. And then it's really gonna be too late. Sisters, you don't want it to be that you've been treating your husband like, like a dog. You know what I'm saying? Like a dog, you've been treating him like how you should treat a heathen. But at your job, the heathens is your work husband. You know what I'm saying? Or your boss, you quick to do whatever your boss say. He got a deadline, you about to follow that. But your Lord, your husband asks you for something, right? Man, sisters, a lot of y'all sisters, man, y'all spend more on the ornaments for the house than you do on your husband. And your husband is the good night. I won't even get into that, man. I ain't gonna go there. But the fact that you don't even want to invest in the ruler of the earth, or a ruler of not the ruler, Salakia, Yahweh Shai is king. But under Yahweh Shai, he's gonna have rulers. And your husband is going to be a ruler, Lord willing. And you're treating a future ruler. You know what, sisters? Y'all wouldn't even lift your voice to pop off at Putin or Zelensky or Biden or Trump. You know what I'm saying? Any of these, even you wouldn't even, you damn near don't want to raise your voice against a police officer. But your husband is Lord willing, is destined to be a ruler of the earth, and you treating him like, like how you treated brothers in the world. Lord be with you. Because a lot of y'all not going to believe, like I said, till Christ put a crown on his head. And then it's going to be too late. You know what I'm saying? Why don't you be like, you know what I'm saying, instead of, Sarah had to see Isaac to laugh, to get excited. Y'all so stressed out about all this stuff going on. Oh, what we going to do about the groceries? What we going to do about, paying the bills? And I got to do this and I got to do that. Y'all so stressed out. You stress yourself out. You know what I'm saying? Like Christ told Martha. You know what I'm saying? Y'all know Martha, that was Lazarus' sister. It was Martha and Mary, you know what I'm saying? And Christ used to spend a lot of time with them. You know what I'm saying? He cared about them like that. You know what I mean? He rocked with them like that. He told Martha up in the kitchen, she getting all the food ready. You know what I'm saying? Brothers coming over for class. She getting all the food ready. Mary's sitting down listening to the camp leader. He breaking some stuff down. He giving breakdowns. She got questions in class. Man, Martha come out the back. Hey, Yahweh Shai, Salakia, sir. He like, what's good, Martha? What's happening? Hey, can you tell Mary to come over here and help me? I got all this stuff I got to do, all this work. She's stressing herself out. Man, Yahweh Shai sitting back. And Mary's sitting on the floor like, dang, yo, Martha be hating. I know that's what she thought to herself, like, damn, man. She want me to be, misery love company. She want me to be miserable too, right? A lot of people, man, listen, if folks are over there stressing themselves out over the wrong thing, man, lead them alone. You wanna be mad and sad and upset and all that, then do that by yourself. You understand? Because it's more important things to worry about. The kingdom of heaven is at hand. You understand? Like the doors of the ark is about to close. It's work to be done. And once Christ show up, listen, man, your works is going to follow you. You can't add to your works after that. Whatever you got is what you got. So this is a critical time right now for brothers to be putting in work and doing this work. And you stressing him out about about what? Salakia. She asked Yahweh Shai, yo, Salakia, sir, can you have Mary come help me? Yahweh Shai, man, he looked at Martha. He said, Martha, you worried about a lot of things, but none of them is important. But Mary, she's chosen the best part, the most important thing. And I'm not going to take that away from her. You think it's important to run around like a chicken with your head cut off, stressing yourself out. Christ is like, yo, she got the truth right in front of her. And she want to get the breakdown. She want to get the understanding. Why? Because she want to be in the right spirit. Because just because you doing stuff, it don't mean that you in the right spirit. And all hell finna break loose. And sisters, listen, man, shout out to the sisters in the school, man, that feed our brothers and do it in a sweet and excellent spirit, and sacrifice and suffer now, because when the suffering really takes place to where everybody can feel it, it's going to be nothing for you, because you was already going through that before World War III really hit the ground and everybody could see it. You know what I'm saying? You was already moving in the right spirit and training for this day. You understand? And this is why, the Apostle Paul said that there is no male or female, but all are one in Christ. This ain't talking about no gender war or all the genders are one. What it's talking about is that what the Most High laid down for Christ, Christ laid down for the men. And what he laid down for the men, he laid down for the women. Meaning what? That we all got our weight to bear. You understand? That if we got to abide by what Christ says, sisters, guess what? You're not excluded. Yeah, you're a weaker vessel, but guess what? You still got to fight. You have a war to fight as well. You have a battle to overcome as well. You're not exempt from that because you're a woman. There ain't no male or female. All are one in Christ, meaning that what Christ suffered, we got to suffer. You understand? Okay. Salakia. Yeah, man. You getting all worked up and worried about the wrong thing, that's not going to help you in World War III. That ain't going to help you. You got to cast out that bondwoman and her son. Meaning what? You got to get back into the truth. Sarah started off on the wrong foot, but she repented and got back on the right foot. You know what I'm saying? Let's read. So, Sarah said, and God hath made me to laugh, so that all that hear will laugh with me. And she said, who would have said unto Abraham that Sarah should have given children suck? For I have borne him a son in his old age. So yeah, this is all good. You know what I mean? Most High in Christ. Sarah saw Isaac, and then her faith came. But I'm going to tell y'all something, man. Commander General Johanna, what you see, the ISUPK Killeen, Commander General Johanna, what we see now is the result of the faith that he had in Salakia. I say this carefully. Salakia is the result of the faith that he had sleeping in the basement of General Muhammad's home with his wife Salakia, and I'm speaking carefully. Okay, when none of us was here, what Commander General Johanna had was faith to believe God, and now we don't count in Israel, but we see it's the stars. You understand? Now, Sarah saw Isaac and she got faith, Most High in Christ. A lot of y'all are going to see when Christ show up and, Lord willing, brothers that you stand amongst going to get crowned. You like, and then you want to be like this. Yahweh Shemalatham Bashem Yahweh Shai. Right? I mean, that's cool. But it'd be better if you was in that spirit genuinely right now. And I'm not speaking to every sister, Salakia. Our sisters in ISUPK are excellent. They're pearls, you know what I'm saying? Rubies, you know what I'm saying? But we all need to grow. And those who know, okay? Moving on. Verse 8, and the child grew and was weaned. Weaned means is that when the child no longer needs to, feed off his mother's breast, also meaning that he don't need to be up under his mother's skirt. Like I got my sons right now, man. They up under their mama. It's crazy, man. Especially Kodash. He the oldest twin. You know what I'm saying? When he first popped out, he was up on the pops. Now he's just mama, which is it's cool. Ain't no sweat. But he ain't weaned yet. He ain't said, "Mama, I'm good. I'm about to roll with pops." That day gonna come, but he ain't there right now. You understand? So the child grew and was weaned, meaning that he was able to step away from his mother and then learn from his father the things that he needs to learn as a man, okay? And Abraham made a great feast the same day that Isaac was weaned. And Sarah saw the son of Hagar, the Egyptian, which she had born unto Abraham, mocking, scoffing, literally laughing. Sarah laughed at the Most High, right? Didn't take what the Most High said seriously. Then the enemy, and really it's the enemy that she planted in her own household, laughing at her son. The irony is crazy. You understand? When you don't take what the Lord say seriously, And that's through the mouth of the prophet, which is for sisters. If you have a husband or your camp leader, whomever, if you don't take what they got to say seriously, you're gonna get laughed at. You gonna be getting laughed at in the end. You understand? Now, when she saw that, it brought. See, it's funny, man. Like a lot of times, man, blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians, we way too friendly. You understand? We give the people. We don't give God the benefit and trust him. We give our enemies the benefit. And we try to like be friendly with them and they always turn. You understand? That same you send your kids to school and you talking to them teachers and them heathen teachers and you thinking that they cool and love your kid and all that. The Lord got protection over your children. But them same heathen teachers in a flash would call child services on you in a flash. Let something go a little bit where they feel like they can put you in a bind. They gonna do it. You understand? You need to put that love towards your own people. You gotta put you gotta trust within your own, whom the Lord gave you. You know what I'm saying? The Lord gave us. And that's all we need. We don't need no more, no less. Like Officer Malakwa, he put up the quote from Jay. You know what I'm saying? He said, a brother say it's not many of us. He said, less is more. It's plenty of us. The Lord don't need a million. He only need 144,000 to rule the earth. You understand? All we got is us, and that's enough. We don't need the heathen to legitimize us. And that's the problem, man. We don't recognize our enemies because every other nation know they got enemies, man. And every other nation is looking for superiority. We're the only nation that's looking for friends. We looking for approval. We looking to, give them an advantage or help them. You understand? I seen a video. I don't know. It was a brother or sister that posted it, but it was set up in New York. I think in a barbershop, right? And it was a setup, but the brothers that was there didn't know it was a setup. Okay, they in the barber chair, and I think they like in Harlem. And a white woman walks through, and the sister's like being real harsh to the white woman. You understand? And they all in on it. So the white woman's like, oh, she's acting like, she's, under duress. You know what I'm saying? And the sister in the chair, like who's doing like I don't know if she's doing like she was cutting her brother's hair or like a salon chair, but she told the sister to get out. The sister Salaki told the dog to get out, the white woman to get out. And the brothers took up for the white woman. I'm just like, yo, like, that's not the spirit of the Lord. You understand? The spirit of the Lord is to acknowledge the position that the Lord has given them, which is that of slaves, that of servants. You understand? Christ only gave a crumb to that Syrophoenician woman, a Greek by nation, a white woman. He gave her a crumb when she acknowledged that she was a dog. You understand? And the only time you should even give any type of acknowledgement to a dog is when they say woof woof. That's it. If they ain't saying, like, what was that on the joint with coming back to America, when Eddie was back there with that sister, and she's like, whatever you say, my lord. He said, bark like a dog. If they not saying woof woof and barking like a dog, then they don't deserve anything from you. You know what I'm saying? At all. We gotta follow what Christ, Yahweh Shah did, what Christ did. You understand? You don't align yourself with the heathens thinking that you're gonna get a come up. You're gonna end up getting mocked in the end. All right, moving on. And Sarah saw the son of Hagar the Egyptian, which she had born unto Abraham, mocking. Wherefore she said, and why was Ishmael mocking? He was mocking because in his mind, he's like, I'm the firstborn. You know what I'm saying? I'm Abraham's firstborn. That inheritance is mine. He was mocking. Just like these Palestinians, you know what I'm saying? See, the temptation would be for some Negroes, because I've seen it. It's a lot of these little black Instagram channels, right? Or, so-called pro-black groups that are trying to side with Palestine because they feel like it's a struggle for us to relate to, that the Israelis represent like white supremacy and the darker skinned Palestinians, you know what I'm saying? Or we should identify with them because like how they're being oppressed, you know what I'm saying, by the Israelis, we're being oppressed by the colonialism of the so-called Caucasian here in America. When what you have to understand is that black man, Hispanic man, Native Indian man, you are an enemy to every nation on this earth. And like Captain Yatazak already stated, more eloquently than I ever could, that you are at fault for all things that take place in the earth. It's your fault. And we've seen that. You understand? A Palestinian woman out there in the UK going against Captain Mashak and Captain Karathia out there and all those mighty brothers in the UK, going against them. Why? Did they bomb Gaza? Did they bomb the Gaza Strip? Did they kill Palestinian boys and girls? But you want to kick down our signs and say free Palestine? When did any black, Hispanic, or Native Indian enslave a Palestinian or oppress a Palestinian? For this Palestinian dog to come and ram her car into our facility in Indianapolis. When did we ever oppress her people? The answer is we never did. But it doesn't matter because we are the enemies of all nations. You understand? There ain't no colluding and working with and collaborating. And what we got to do as blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians, as the children of Israel, is recognize that we have enemies. And we have to do what? We have to do what Sarah finally realized. Sarah repented and got back into the truth, and she got locked back in. And it's hope. You know what I'm saying? It's hope. This is what she said. Verse 10, wherefore she said unto Abraham, cast out this bondwoman and her son. That's what we got to do. Sisters, you got to cast that. You got to cast out behaving like a heathen. Like General Muhammad said, sisters in our school, we can't, just because you angry, you don't just let it out in a fit of violent anger, right? And lash out against your man or lash out against your brothers and sisters. You know what I'm saying? Your family, right? You don't behave like the heathen. We're called to a higher standard. Because why? We're a light in the earth, man. A city that's set on a hill cannot be hid. You understand? You don't light a candle and put it up under a bushel. We're the example. All right? Paraphrase him. The nation's supposed to look at us and be like, dang, whoever's seen such a wise and righteous nation, you understand? With their laws that are so right. They're supposed to look at us and be envious and be like, dang. But what do we got going on? Sexy Red, you know what I'm saying? Cardi B, Dwight Howard, Amari Stoudemire. These are the lights. These are the stars that are falling from heaven, man. You understand? But why are they falling? Because we about to have the stars that was in Revelations 12 above that sister's head. You understand? The woman in Revelations, man. When the sun turns black and the moon turns to blood, that's because the Lord is tearing down the heavens, right? And he's creating a new heaven and a new earth. Meaning what? It's going to be new rulership on top. You know what I'm saying? Righteous leadership under Yahushua, Christ, Hamashiach, our King, under the Most High. And then what? It's going to be new rulers, and it's going to be the heathen where they're supposed to be, at the bottom, casted out in the outer darkness, man, having to come to us for every single thing. Jerusalem is going to be the light of the world, the center and the capital of the world. Our gates is going to be open, and them dogs is going to be bringing in that dog food. You know what I'm saying? Bringing in them goods day in and day out, man. And we're going to redistribute everything as we see fit, and we're going to feed the children first. You understand? And with that, I'm saying I'm Priest and Officer Tapazar. This ISUPK Killeen Brotherhood class, man. You know what I'm saying? And, Shalom Yahweh Shem Yahushua, rock a thumb to the brothers, and Shalom Yahweh Shem Alatham Ba Shem Yahushua to the sisters, man. All right.